So basically, what I'm saying is, I started running by walking and then boom, on that treadmill. And please, 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 please don't quit. Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today I really wanted to share my story about how I went from overweight, unhealthy, unfit to being able to run a half marathon. If this is the first video of mine that you've clicked on, hello, I'm Lucy. I'm currently on a weight loss journey. I plan on losing 90 pounds in total. I'm about 60 pounds of the way there. I started my weight loss journey about a year ago. Yeah, I'm gonna go right back to the start and let you know how this all happened. Really brutally honest with myself as well, in the very beginning of this journey, I did not consider I would be in this position at this moment, or in any moment of my life, to be honest. I've currently lost about 64 pounds. I am running very regular. That's my dog Storm. Thank you, Storm. I'm running very regular. Every day I can run, I get out and I do it. It's just got to be involved. Let's take it back to the beginning. So this time last year, my husband, he's in the army and he was away. He was actually in Kenya at the beginning of my journey, and I made the decision that I was going to get moving, get going. I weighed 230 pounds. I was ridiculously unfit. I struggled to do pretty much everything, especially when it was hot. In the summer before I started my journey, I was obviously very overweight, very uncomfortable. I was obese, and even just walking with my daughter, who was very young at the time, in her pushchair, just walking like 10 minutes in the sun to the shops to get milk was embarrassing, because I would just sweat, like drip with sweat. And obviously, because I was uncomfortable with my body, I was buying clothes just because they fit, not because I like them. So I didn't like the outfit I was in. I was really uncomfortable. I was dripping with sweat. This is all within the space of 10 minutes. I'd get into the shop and yeah, I would be out the sun, but that's when I would start sweating even more. Constantly wiping. I couldn't put any makeup on because it just made it look even worse. I would just be sweating it off in front of everyone. That is how bad I was. I was really unhealthy. I was really unfit. We did have a treadmill. That was something that I actually had about a year at my disposal, but I never continuously used it. I used to get uncomfortable on the treadmill, obviously, because working out is hard and it's uncomfortable. But as soon as I got uncomfortable, that was it. I'm done. It's not normal. This pain isn't normal. My husband, who runs all the time, he's super fit. He doesn't get this pain. He can do it because he's that type of person that can do it. Other people who I see running on the street, they can do that because that's their thing. They're able to. They don't hurt. It doesn't hurt them. They're comfortable. The truth is that they're not. They are hurting, they are uncomfortable, and they are pushing themselves just as much as I was at that point on the treadmill. So I made the decision to get off my bum and go on the treadmill every night. Because I was at home with my daughter and my husband was away, so we've gone back to this time last year, I wasn't able to just put my daughter to bed, go out for a run. Obviously, you can't just leave your child, so that's where the treadmill absolutely came in handy, because I was able to just get on the treadmill, I would put my iPad up on the screen and I'd just walk. And I would walk for as long as I wanted, really. I would put on like an hour's documentary, and I would make sure that I would be walking from the start to the finish. I had a bottle of water there, and I was happy. I was so happy. I don't know if you watching this, you are a parent yourself, maybe somehow relate to this, but when you have children or you're around children, your time is so precious. Everything you're doing is for them. You're there for them. Like, I'm constantly looking after her. She's my main priority. Everything is for her. Even just simple things like having a shower becomes something almost like a treat or something special, because you can't believe that you've got this time to yourself and you're able to wash. Like, that's crazy. Before I had my daughter, like, that was just an everyday thing. It wasn't special. It's just something you do. But then the times that you have for yourself are so special and it's so important, and I needed to use that time and I needed to get on that treadmill and move my body. Obviously in the day I could have got on the treadmill, but she was very young at this point. I need to keep an eye on her. At the moment she's just turned 3, so she would have just turned 2 at that point. She definitely needed to be watched all the time, and it's just not safe to be on a treadmill and have a toddler walking around. Obviously I've got this one as well. It was ideal. Chloe go to bed, I get on the treadmill, I watch the TV that I wasn't able to watch in the day, then I can get in the bath afterwards, wash my hair, feel fresh, feel good, done. Oh. I feel like I've done a lot of talking. So he was gone for, I believe it was 6 weeks. Now by the time he come back, walking on the treadmill for me became very regular, and it was just something that I just started doing, and I did start to lose weight. I can't remember how much, but I believe it may have been sort of like a pound a week at this point. Now when Matt came home, he knows everything about running, so I was completely clueless on exercise, running, any sport. I was completely clueless, so just walking on a treadmill was all I could manage. I had the distance on the treadmill and obviously the time. When he was back home from Kenya and I was doing my nightly routine of putting my iPad on and walking on the treadmill, I looked over at the screen and he said to me, "Oh, you've just walked 5k. Now that sentence completely, like, I now know, I get emotional. I now know that sentence that came out of his mouth, it totally changed everything for me. Wow, why am I getting emotional? Literally changed my life. Like, him saying that was just a passing thing. It didn't mean anything, but I thought that a 5k was like unreachable for me. I didn't think that had anything to do with me or will correlate in my life whatsoever. And when I learnt that I just walked 5k, it blew my mind. I was really happy. I got a notepad and I wrote down the distance that I walked and how long it took me. That is when I really started going for it. So I walked 5k and I wrote the time down, and then I decided, okay, I'm gonna run some of this and I'm gonna do it quicker. What I basically did was I chopped it up into 10-minute segments, and I did a warm-up. I walked for 9 minutes and then I ran for 1. Now when I very first started running, I cannot tell you how hard that was. I could only manage 25 seconds, and even getting to 25 seconds was really hard. So if you're starting out and you've not run before and you're massively overweight and you don't like being uncomfortable, but you know that you want to start running, keep going. Once it gets uncomfortable, everything in your head is going to tell you to stop. Your mind is just going to be like, no. This is too painful. You shouldn't be getting pain here. Literally, I went through all of that. Now I'm here. I'm able to run for hours at a time. It is something that I am in shock about, if I'm honest. I can't believe I did that. But anyway, that's how I started. I pushed myself. And then I pushed myself to the point where I had to really force myself to run for the whole minute. So I'd walk for 9 and I would run for 1. And it genuinely took me the 9 minutes to recover from the 1 minute running. And in the end, I got my 5k time down to 63 minutes. Just to put that into context, now I can run without stopping a solid, with hills as well, a solid 10k in 1 hour, 6 minutes. And it's been 1 year, going from absolutely dying after trying to run for 30 seconds to a solid 10k in that time. So basically what I'm saying is I started running by walking. As time went on, I was able to push myself more. The thing was, I made it a point to show up for myself. I got my daughter to bed. I got straight into my running clothes, hair tied up. Let's go. Let's do this. I used to sit down. I used to have a drink, let my dinner go down a little bit more, and then boom, on that treadmill. It was absolutely incredible that I continued to do it. And please, 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 if you're trying to run, if you're trying to get fit, please don't quit. Don't stop. Unless you absolutely despise it, which obviously some people absolutely despise running, and trust me, I understand. If you really want something, you really got to push hard. Now, I've started pushing hard from doing that 30 seconds of running, pushing it to a minute. I've not stopped struggling from then. The only difference is I'm now trying to run 15 miles. I'm trying to build up my mileage. I'm trying to push myself, because the pain that I was in and the absolute discomfort that I felt after those 30 seconds, I'm still feeling. It's just after a longer time. So once I was able to push myself, I got to a point where I was running about 4 minutes. That was the amount of time I could run without stopping. And then I would cut it down, so I'd run for 4 minutes, walk for 2, maybe then run for 2, and then walk for 2. And then it went on like that. I kind of had to listen to my body and work out what my body was telling me. And then I actually ended up being able to run for 5 minutes, walk for 1, run for 1, walk for 1, run for 1. Now, this was something that I found very, very, very difficult, but I think it's what made me able to push more. I think it really, really helped me. It got me over a bit of a difficult patch. Once I had my husband back and I was able to run, we were able to go out running together, and he would help me, he'd push me. I thought that running outside was harder than on the treadmill. I think that's just because that was what I was used to, and obviously on the treadmill it's just flat. Now I'm the complete opposite. I don't even have the treadmill anymore because I'm running outside so much, and yeah, running on the treadmill just became really boring, and the time I found it very, very difficult. And I think if I was to have started running, or was able to start running outside, I probably would have had it improved quicker than I did on the treadmill. If you're thinking about trying Couch to 5k, give it a go, 100%. I tried Couch to 5k and it did not work for me at all. The segments changed and progressed too quickly, so you'd be doing a certain amount of running in 1 week, and you do that like 3 times, and then by the next week they want you to add an extra 5 minutes of running. Now, no way was that going to happen. I was so unfit that I had to be able to run 5 minutes without stopping over and over again before I could attempt to do 6 minutes alone, add an extra 5 on. That was something that I definitely wasn't working for me. But if you are starting off at a fitter point, then it might be useful for you, and it might actually help you. Personally, I believe that you need to listen to your body. I needed to listen to my body, and that's what I did. And my body was telling me that you can do this, you can do an extra minute. So I went and I did an extra minute. And then when I was doing my walking, getting my breath back, I was spending less time getting my breath back, and I was spending more time running, and it just turned into a constant run in the end where there was no walking. That did take quite a long time for that to happen, but it happened, and I did it, and I pushed through. So guys, I want this video to be the story that people don't think can be them, but it is them. I'm really hoping that I have made the video and told the story that I needed to hear back then. Right in the very beginning, I believed that I was just going to try and walk more. Didn't think anything of it. I didn't overthink it. I just knew that I needed to lose weight and I wanted to exercise. I knew that eventually I wanted to run, but I didn't think it would happen. Well, it's happening. I am running non-stop. I've lost so much weight. I don't fit into any of my old clothes that I hated. I'm not wearing the massive size clothes. I don't have to wear big jumpers to try and cover myself up. I'm really comfortable, and that's all because of running. And I hope that this video finds someone, even if it's just one person. And I hope that if you're watching and you're thinking about starting to get out, maybe you're looking at trainers online thinking, should I, am I going to use them? Buy the trainers, get your workout clothes on, and just walk. Just start by walking. Track it, make a note. I didn't have a watch in the beginning of my journey. I had a pen and a bit of paper, and I basically used a stopwatch, which was in the treadmill at the time. You can get a Strava app, and you can on your phone, and it will log how far you've gone and how long it's took you on a map. If you don't want to get a watch, which is understandable, but like just start, and then if it hurts, if it's painful, if it's sore, know that that's normal, because when I first started, my calves were horrifically tight. They were so painful. My husband kept saying, you're just not conditioned to it yet. You just got to get, your body's not used to it. And it went on and on for months. My calves were so painful for months, and I didn't stop, and I kept going, and now I have no problems at all. They are completely comfortable, and they're so comfortable that it convinces me I don't need to stretch. You should stretch. I do stretch. I feel like I don't need to because they feel absolutely fine, and my legs just feel strong, and I feel strong. Don't stop. Keep going. Weight loss is so hard. It is one of the hardest things I've ever done. You should work on yourself. Do it quietly. Don't be loud about it. Just do it in the background, and eventually you'll just turn up. It's all for you, and you're just going to shock everyone, and think about how incredible that's going to be. You are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know in the comments below if you got your trainers on and you went for a run. And I will see you guys next week for another update. Bye guys.